Today Missional Church is going out in the park with some meals and some hope. Some cold water, cold drink of water for the folks who have no shelter, have no home. Some of them are victims of the system, but certainly not all of them. But for these folks, you know, what's a drink of cold water? They don't have any access to anything cold. We always send people out in twos the same way that Jesus did. Because what you do on your own, that's awesome. The world needs all kinds of goodness, but come to understand that it's not mission, because mission is always object and subject in the same moment. And so it always requires another person in order to help you debrief, in order to help you do praxis, in order to help you to sort of unpack the meaning of the encounters that you have each day. So we always send people out in groups of no less than 2. These young teenagers are all new to the kingdom themselves. As soon as they come into the kingdom, we send them right back out. Luke 10:2 says, "Pray the Lord of the harvest to send more laborers into the harvest." And so as soon as we have fruit from the harvest, that fruit goes right back out to make disciples. We're not interested in simply making disciples. We're trying to make disciples who make disciples who make disciples. So right now, today, we have 5 people, 6 actually, at work out in the harvest here in the park, trying to offer a little bit of the kingdom of God. Here comes Ben. We'll interview Ben. Hey buddy, how'd it go?
Just like Galveston.
Just like Galveston? Say more about that.
Well, you know, you just sit down and you listen to the person, and then all of a sudden it's just like God shows up.
And what happens when God shows up?
That person gets hope. That person shows the fear that the person has, but then you know that God is just going to be with that person.
Awesome work, Ben. How did it impact you? How do you feel right now?
I feel pretty happy. I feel like God's also in me now too, more than before this would even happen. It just really sets my heart on fire.
Absolutely awesome. You're kind of a veteran of street ministry, but Devin over here, this is like your first day.
Yeah.
So tell me what you experienced there.
I don't know, just even though like they might not have homes, they're just still some of the nicest people sometimes, and it's just great to go out and like experience that for the first time.
So how did you end up feeling?
I feel great about it too.
So it's sort of like you give, but you end up getting back.
Yeah, exactly.
How about you, Yami? I know you're shy.
Yeah, and it's really good to give out food, because when you give it to them, after that they like, this is like a blessing for them. We're doing something that God can do.
Yeah, did it bless you too? Awesome. Absolutely awesome. So Jack and Liz are still out there.
Good old Jack.
Well, I mean, Ben, you and Jack have been doing this a while.
Yeah.
So you're comfortable just sort of entering into people's experience from wherever you are and wherever they are, huh?
So I still feel like this is a step up for Jack, because, you know, I've also been in Milwaukee for a long time, and Jack hasn't, and this is...
Those suburban kids, man.
Yeah. This is really something proud. I know he said he was scared and nervous, but
Going into these parks?
I don't know about that. I think he was just nervous about God, but I kind of see him flying high right now.
Like he's doing what he's called to do?
Yep, like we're all called to do.
Like we're all called to do. That's awesome.
Now, how are you feeling?
How am I feeling?
Yeah.
I'm always feeling good.
Why don't you put the video on yourself and tell us how you're feeling?
Okay. There you go, Ben. You can hold the video. Well, you know, for me, I'm still trying to figure out how to help young people to find meaning in their faith. because so many people, come to me and say, well, faith is just church, it's just Sunday morning and junk like that. And, I've read the Bible a few times, and I'm not a brilliant person, I'm kind of a simple person, but it never said anything about faith being like a Sunday morning thing. And, it talks about whatever you do unto the least of these, you've done also unto me. And so just finding ways for you folks to be able to understand faith in a new context, kind of in a Jesus context, like it actually happened in the Bible, and to see that faith come alive in you, man, that's awesome.
It really is.
I've gotten to the point now where seeing people come into the kingdom, like what I think is about to happen right down here. There's that song, better is one day in your courts.
Yeah.
Better is one day in your house than thousands elsewhere. Well, I think a couple people are about to enter into the courts. And even here in the midst of their homeless predicament and everything else they're in the middle of, they're finding the kingdom of God present in that moment. To me, that's what it's all about.
I agree with you.
So now I can put the camera back on you. I will have to put the camera on those guys.
I think they need some